Alright, greetings everyone. Welcome to Records of Evil. I hope everybody is having a fine Tuesday morn as we're popping into the show here. Of course, joining me is the usual cast of characters that I have for this evil time. My evil laugh's not good at this time of day yet. Save that for, later on when I can, been doing a lot of, horrible things to these folks. It's probably going to happen.
You need something to trigger it.
Yeah, see?
You can't just do it on the fly.
Yeah. You can't just... it's just not there yet.
Evil laughs only come with evil.
I'll take that as an answer. That sounds good. Uh-huh. But anyway, so, for those of you who are joining us for any kind of first time or haven't missed us for a while, this is a Lawful Evil D&D game. These folks are cultists of Asmodeus. They've been sent to modern-day Faerun, and they're on a road trip currently. So that's the big thing. The idea was to take a road trip to the north for a few reasons. One, they're looking for a woman, Diastan. She is related to this ritual they have to enact. Okay, positive. They also have to find an artifact for said ritual. Second positive. They have neither of those completed yet, but, working towards it. Last time, they stopped...
One thing we do have completed is we have semi-built up a cult.
Yes, you have semi-built up a cult, actually. That worked well, in that you got a small force of devils to work for you, and some people that will listen to you, and be all like, yay, Asmodeus, go, go, go. So, positives.
And then, what is it, an frat? What are they called? Anyway, we got someone to be cult leader in the meantime.
Your imp?
Fallen angel lady.
Oh, the
No.
Earnest. Oh, the Earnest, yeah.
Earnest! Yeah. I was like, Ifrit? No, that's not right.
I mean, outsidery, but the wrong kind of outsider.
I know. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, they last left off. They finished up at Baldur's Gate, pretty much. They found out that Diastan had children. One of them ended up back at Baldur's Gate, but the records of them is not good. And then they also did for a time move to Waterdeep. So Waterdeep could be a possible stop along the way. And also, you have to look into more on Diastan. And farther to the north at... Neverwinter. Yeah. I was going to call it Forgotten Realms for a second. See how, brain not work good. Neverwinter is the last place known for the Eye. Anyway, let's check in with these players and their characters and see how they're doing before we really dive in. We'll start with, let's start with Worm and Vercel.
Vercel is a little disappointed that she couldn't find records on her personal inquiries, but otherwise is fine that she found records on Diastan, and hopefully they can lead somewhere where we can find more records. She's pretty comfortable with libraries, so she doesn't mind.
Uh-huh. And we'll go to Jigs and Mishka.
Yeah. Mishka's happy that they found, some information. She's hoping that they'll get, a really good batch soon. So they're not, kind of going around mostly blind. But they got something at least.
Mm-hmm. And we finish up with Jess and Thersey.
Well, Thursey is excited to at least leave one library. Because she is very done with books.
Why would you be done with books? Books are wonderful.
I can't really steal them. They don't have a good resale price unless they're very special.
Which a lot of the ones we were interacting with were, but then again, they were under much heavier guard, so...
Yeah. Also, she is getting ready for when the cult is big enough to rob that museum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's planning that out.
Well, anyway, so yes, last time, in the city Baldur's Gate, you all had checked out the High Hall of Wonder. Wow, almost forgot its name there. And of course the Hall of Wonders, the combination of Temple of God and museum that exists in this modern day version of Baldur's Gate. Went through some records, talked to some people, found someone that will be able to provide some information hopefully in the future. They'll look into some of their deeper records with the hope of getting you some information that they can share with you. Anyway, so what's the plan now? You can continue to hang around Baldur's Gate for a while. You can continue your journey along the Northern Road. There's options for you to take.
I mean, we don't have much left to do here, so we might as well just continue up the road to the deep water.
Yeah.
The deep. Thursday is so excited to be driving, not reading.
Thursday just enjoys the entire act of driving.
Yeah, it's a lot more comfortable than a horse. And it has a locking system, so most people don't steal them. It's pretty neat.
Advantage, car over horse. Definitely advantage in that case, though. Anyway, alright, so you can get back on the road heading north. Do I still have that favorite map easily accessible? The answer is probably not. That is a world map. That is helpful. That is not the one I'm looking for. Aha! Found it. Alright.
I mean, Sword Coast maps are pretty much the most prominent Faerun maps, so
I
you
know.
probably are good.
I had a very good map, though, and I was wondering if I had it linked up. So it's actually not a very difficult journey to get to Waterdeep. Now, the thing is, the road itself follows the old road, so rather than heading straight north, it links around the Troll Hills and the Trollbark Forest, kind of making a wide berth around the two of those, passing between those two and the High Moor itself, heading for Waterdeep. So the Tradeway the Coastway moves to the Tradeway at this point in time. You will be passing by the small settlement of Daggerford along the way. There aren't any other major settlements along this route. Those Dragonspar Castle, the historic site, has its an offlay from the road, and the road itself does have an offshoot that one could head towards Sobar and deeper into Faerun, if one wanted to. So, let's see here. I think 480 miles. That's like it's a pretty long road trip, but you could last the entire time. You might have to stop for gas in probably Daggersford if you wanted to. Or try to look for a small place along the way.
Daggerford was... Maybe it's
Daggerford.
not. I don't know what.
I keep adding an S in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's just Daggerford.
Oh, yeah, there. Okay, sorry. I don't know why. I always forget that Daggerford is north of Baldur's Gate. I always think it's south. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Nope. It's along the way. Itch. So, if you want to just...
Probably a tourist site of Dragonspire Castle, or Dragonspear Castle.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's a tourist site there. You see big signs for it along the highway. You know... It seems like a great place to stop, show the kids, see some historic Faerun. If you wanted to see more historic Faerun.
It's children.
Probably.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm gonna say the chances are you're doing this journey during a school year, so the chances of children actually being there slim to none. Fortunately,
Priscilla's a little disappointed she never got grandbabies.
Oh, don't think you know.
That I know of, true.
Yeah.
I probably have great grandbabies.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be complicated.
Right?
Oh. Hey, I'm
Hey.
your great grandmother. Also, we're the same age, but don't worry about it.
time travel. It's okay. What? No, don't worry about it. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, the trip to Daggerford is.
I'm honestly, after finding out there was a time travel game, I was kind of happy I put children in my backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
The trip to Daggerford is not particularly difficult overall. It's just a, let's see here, like we'll say it's like it probably could hit like a 6-hour journey. 5-6-hour journey. You're on a highway, but it's probably not the fastest highway. It's about 300 miles along that journey, so it does take quite a bit of time. Yep. So, eventually, though, you will get to Daggerford. Be able to get out. There's some nice places here. The town itself would probably be like a small city. It's definitely grown probably since the olden days. Probably not as tiny and inconsequential as some of those side cities that are here and there along the road. This one, at least the highway kind of passes through parts of it. Definitely a good place that you could stop for gas, maybe stop for food if you wanted to. Or you could press on towards Waterdeep. Option is yours at that point in time, after filling your gas tank.
Well, Thursday is gonna fill up on gas station coffee.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that buzz going.
Like, you've been churning for like hours upon hours, and you're like, oh god, long car drive.
Coffee.
She hasn't discovered energy drinks yet. That's gonna be a whole.
Oh no. They're gonna be a whole mess with that.
Oh yeah.
You're on a mess already with all this coffee? No, you just need to get more of a mess.
They're starting to get used to the coffee though.
Yeah.
Energy drink will be a new thing for them.
That's how Thursday died. She just OD'd on energy drinks.
5 monsters at once.
Just
Priscilla expressed her disappointment that there isn't a fort of daggers.
I mean, I'll give you that one there. Anyway, the town itself is known for its marketplace, and a couple of old landmarks, some of which still have some common uses in the town, others which are more, historic sites at this point in time. But it does have like a local kind of market area that still is open to this day. With like it says like it's got advertised with like a 3,000-year-old tradition, of an open air market. Anyway, as short as your time at Daggerford may be, it is time to continue north to Waterdeep proper. Arriving at Waterdeep, it's a city on the kind of northern reach of a river mouth. The river itself, which is the River Disartry, I can't read that on my map, god damn it.
Dallenbeer, Dallenbeer,
thank you.
Sorry, the last 4 letters are like, I'm like, had to double check that my dyslexia wasn't kicking in there. It's a really weird spelling.
I'd have to get my face so close to here because yeah, the last 4 letters are kind of like it's Dessarie, I think, Desari. We'll say it's Desari. I don't know. Whatever. Close enough.
Wait, you're talking about the Waterdeep one. I thought you were talking about the Daggerford River. Oh yeah, no, that's Desarin.
That's
River Desarin. Dessarin.
Delameter or something for next to Daggerford.
Yeah, Delambier is like.
God.
It's like the last 4 letters are Biyr, and I'm like.
Oh, you're right. It's Biyr. Jesus, that's a weird spell. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
favorite weird spellings and stuff. But anyway, so yeah. So the city definitely has expanded since its old days, but it's most of the unlike Baldur's Gate, which was like I would actually say in technically speaking a much smaller city during your age. Waterdeep was a much larger city in general, so a lot of the same districts and stuff still stay true. Granted, there has been expansions and new wards and stuff that have been built up over the ages, along with complete rebuilds of certain areas of the town. But still, you do have some of the major components remaining from the old days. The old walls do exist in basically the old part of the city. It's just that new parts of the city have grown up outside of them. And the old parts of the city, a lot of them have been rebuilt too. So the main highway...
Having been to a city that was kind of old and walled in once, it's actually kind of funny how they... there's like almost a tourist attraction out of the walls.
Mm-hmm. Those walls were useful at one point in time.
Yeah. Walls are a little bit less useful when there are airplanes that can just drop bombs on a city.
Or bombs that can just destroy them. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. So. What's your plans for staying in Waterdeep? By this time, you probably would want to stay the night at Waterdeep anyway. After the long trip. Regardless of what your plans in town are. Now, there are still major wards within the Old City. In Old City, the major wards are a dock ward, which is like kind of the area that still exists to this day. The southern ward actually spreads outside the castle walls now and is a lot larger. The southern ward is actually what you're going to be coming into originally. The southern ward is like, though it contains part of the Old City, most of it is used. That term is used to refer to the suburbia that has formed along the river itself, and where the highway goes along the river. So you kind of would pass the kind of like cross the bridge over the river, which is a farther on, and then the highway kind of then parallels the river for a little while, kind of heading back into Waterdeep for maybe say like 10-20 miles. And during that time, you get into the suburbia of the southern ward of Waterdeep. The trades ward is still major, and then like the north ward and sea ward are within the upper parts of the city. Castle ward is still the area where the main government is. The City of the Dead is still there, but now it's a historic graveyard. And similar to how the south ward expanded out, the field ward, which was on the northern side, expanded out of the city that way. There is an actual eastern ward, which is down below the cliffs on the east side of the city, which expanded out that way of a suburbia. So that kind of separates out the east ward from the south and the field wards in the north. So.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna at least do some digging just to find out where I could go to find records.
Good question. Unfortunately, there's a lot of places that might have it throughout the city here. It's a large city, and a lot of the older locations might have records from the old day. Certainly in the government buildings, they would probably have some. Let's see here. That's festivals and hall, transportation.
Actually, would I have been able to get? Question: Would I have been able to get a information from the previous records place on where to go for records in Waterdeep.
The thing about the records you found is they were actually, you don't think, from that wizard's tower. You think those records were actually just leftover remains from
Well, yeah, but the you said the name, the Museum of High something, maybe?
High
Anyway.
House of Wonder.
Yeah, the High House of Wonders. I would have asked them where to go to continue looking for records in Waterdeep.
They would have probably implied the main government buildings would probably be the best area. Let me see here. Yeah. New Olaman might have some records. They're one of the oldest bard colleges in all of modern Faerun, having existed since the ancient days of Faerun. It's now more just... It originally was a bard college. It's now an actual, like, college. Though it has a specialty in music and performance still. You could, still go to get other educations there. But they have old records at that location. It's a college with, 2,000+ years of history. The castle and palaces of Waterdeep, though many of them... the castle itself has tourists, but the palace still remains a kind of almost like a part of the civic system. They have old records there, possibility, but that would require special permission too. Any of the main assembly areas in the civics buildings, like the main government building, might have some records. If you're looking into old records, that's up in the air depending on it. The Font of Knowledge also would be a place. It was the known as the Great Library in the olden times. It was a temple led by a sage in the old days to oh god, I'm gonna butcher it. Ogham. Oghama. Okay. Yeah. The old god of bards and stuff. Though the temple is no longer a temple itself, the fact that it was once a kind of library location means that it is kept that way. Similarly speaking, the Hall of Justice, as though it has retired from being an actual religious center, which was once to Tyr, it still exists, and it might have old records. The last group that's major that they would be able to tell you about is the Tower of Order. One of the last few wizard orders in modern day Faerun that's active. They've been active within the city since the old days. They still have a presence there. They still get occasionally new members, so they still keep going. But as wizardry has fallen out of practice a lot of places, it's not showing up as much.
Okay. Having zoned out at some point, I'm gonna say let's go.
Look, I was trying to... Okay. So, big
You're
ones.
good, but yeah. I'd probably Bard College is probably a good one to go to. Just
Bard College is probably good.
Colleges usually like to keep records. Mm-hmm. After that, probably the government buildings. I'll figure out where to go next from there if those don't have them.
Yeah, it was like in your age. The New Olam would have been pretty old at that point in time already. So, where do you want to stay in the city? That's a good question.
Probably somewhere that's not too far from anywhere we can get information, but it's also pretty fucking cheap.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We have
Okay.
a thing for cheap motels.
Alright, if you're looking for something a
Also
little...
park the car at.
You could definitely stop and stay in the Southern Ward. Southern Ward probably saying outside the city proper is probably the cheapest thing you're going to do. Traveling into the city will be much more expensive, especially inside the old walls. The old walls are not perfectly in existence. A number of battles and civil wars and things like that have occurred over the ages have caused portions of the old walls over the last couple thousand years to break away, but large portions of them do exist still.
Don't forget about the restoration projects that are probably going on.
Probably keeping the main portions that are there going, you know. Maybe even restoring some of the old portions that were broken away if they can. If things weren't built in their place over the ages. But yeah, no. The fact is that Southern Ward, or any of the outside of the walls wards, you're outside the city proper, you're into the suburbia of Waterdeep, you'd probably be able to get good staying there, relatively cheap. If you're going inside the city proper, Castle Ward, which is kind of the central ward, would be the most expensive. All the other wards, Trades Ward probably, because there's a lot of like actual like some factories in that area, large businesses still, some markets, things like that. It's a business center now, definitely still. That would be probably more expensive. You could probably find some cheap housing in the Docks Ward, and maybe the Sea Ward, but they're not going to be like super cheap. So like, Sea Ward is probably your best bet for going to places like New Olam, because that's within Waterdeep, you know, that's like closer to it. I'd say, you know, that's a location. Otherwise, you're not gonna be, you know, seeing it. Oh, yeah. So like, New Olam is on the western side, so it's like on the cliffs on the edge of the Castle Ward, kind of leading into it. There has been like some expansion of smaller areas down into that cliff area below the college, but a lot of that is like very rough terrain down towards the seawalls. Seawalls are actually relatively the most intact ones, just as a little note there. So if you'd stay in the Sea Ward, you'd be closest to that and the center of the city, and many of these places are towards the center of the city. The thing about that is, again, it's not going to be the cheapest. So, inner wards, still affordable, but, you know, more expensive. I'd say, like, you know, it's the difference between finding a place to stay that's, like, you know, maybe $50 a night, versus finding a place that's, like, 100, 120 a night. While if you would stay in like the Trades Ward or Castle Ward, you probably would cheapest would be find would be like 200.
Ooh.
I'll let you guys decide where to stay.
I was gonna say, I think the 50 sounds pretty good. We got a car, we could drive.
Very true.
And then if I get bored at any place that's reading, I can just wait in the car.
And by any place there's reading, that's like most of the places the Vercel wants you to go to.
Yeah.
Exactly. I will find the books, I will hand them to you two, and then I will go wait in the car with a coffee.
I mean, works out for all of us, I guess.
Well, if that's the vote, you can find a nice place within the South Ward. The South Ward itself, it's definitely built up, but it is very much more a sprawl of a city. It doesn't remind you of many places that you were in Calimport, because Calimport feels like a city that is just what it is kind of thing. Like, Even the area you stay in, it feels a lot more like city. At least in the southern ward here, it feels like there's a little bit of like greenery still to the town. Maybe I'll describe it that way, you know. And maybe there are parts of Calimport that you could probably go to that would be like that. But Calimport is built on a coastline next to a desert versus, you know, foresty, fieldy areas. Greenery's easy here in comparison. But you can find a small actual hotel for a reasonable price that is nearby to a small park. And it has an indoor pool, if you want to use that. Mm-hmm.
We're on the up and up.
Yeah. You'll easily check in. You know, the lady at the front desk, take your information, you know. How many nights are you planning on staying, anyway?
Probably just 2 nights, because we got there late that night, and then a day for research, and then probably gonna move on, because I doubt the other 2 want to stick around long enough for me to research more than that.
I mean, I'll stick around as long as possible. I just don't want to have to do the reading.
As long as we can find something here, then we can stay.
But 2 nights sounds good, and then if we need more, we can get more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds good. Alright. So, yeah. You'll, move into the hotel and, stay the night. Next morning, you're planning on heading for the college itself. So as I said, college, New Olam is part of the, Castle District, Castle Ward, technically. When you travel to the area, it takes you a little bit to find parking. The place is flushed with people. It's an actual college complex. New Olam has grown up from a single building to a massive kind of structure of buildings that you've got a building which is dedicated, like there's a massive performance hall, a couple of buildings which have like names of various famous people related to the college's founding, dedicated to them, like so there's like and dedicated to various different topics related to one's college education. Unfortunately, in the sort of couple of blocks of New Olam itself, you're not able to find parking. It's filled up. It's either got people parked in those places, or it's got these trucks that have the sides open, and people are serving food out of them. There's all kinds of strange cuisines and things being sold off from like these trucks, and it seems pretty busy with a lot of like younger, like college age people enjoying them. Though eventually you'll be able to find parking. You can either find parking nearby in the general city close to here, or they do have a parking area. You can pay for parking. I know, paying for
places. I
paying.
didn't have to pay to park my horse. What is this? Oh.
I mean,
Well, probably had to pay to have someone take care of your horse for the time you were in the city.
I mean, if there was a stable, you probably had to pay to use the stable most of the time.
But no one's filling up my tank and cleaning my car, you know, when I paid for parking.
Nope. That is quite true. No one's gonna fill up your horse with petrol.
Yeah.
That horse would just not be very healthy afterwards. I mean, like, you could totally just put it in the one area. There's these, like, shady-looking people around, you know, out in the city.
Yep, nope. I'm gonna pay for parking.
Uh-huh.
Very begrudgingly.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Yep, you'll pay for some parking. You'll get in there just fine. You visiting a family? You visiting a kid, I mean? Oh, Jesus, man.
We're actually wondering if there are parts of the library that hold records for public use.
I have no idea. I just run the parking, dude.
Very well.
You probably want to go to administrations. That's, go down 2 buildings, make a left, go down another 2 buildings, and it's gonna be on your right side. It's by that truck that serves, like, cone waffles or something.
Very well.
It's the one that's got the cone waffle. It's not the normal cone waffle ones. That's another couple buildings down on another street. It's the cone waffles one where they serve, like, fish or meats inside it, like chopped up in some kind of salad or something. I don't know, it's weird. Unless you like that kind of thing. Good on you. Anyway, yeah. That'll be $15 for the total day, and you got your day pass. Thank you for stopping by. Just make sure to check in on your way out.
Very well.
$50?
Lira. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yup. Parking is expensive everywhere.
They tell us we can't use this library. I'm getting my $15 back no matter what that boy says.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. $15 sounds rather reasonable. But then again, I live in California. So.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's totally reasonable to be putting it in a garage. Yeah, $15 is being nice.
Yup.
Yeah, no, that's terrible for me. If you park, like, in, like, a multi-story car park around me, it's, like, for an entire day, maybe £7.
Around here, it's usually about $1 every 20 minutes.
Oh my god!
It's like $25 an hour or something like that.
What the hell is wrong with this?
And that's like, that's kind of like a minimum.
Yeah, same for me. It's like...
Well,
usually though the first 20 minutes are free. And then it's like $1 every 20 minutes after that.
Then it sells you your soul.
It's gotta be fast.
Gotta be fast. But
Usually there's like up to a maximum of $30 or something like that. Usually they're pretty nice about that, but...
No way, not here.
Whew.
I don't know, I guess in California they want to encourage you to get out as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. Ah. Okay, so, we're a little early, because we started a little late, but anyway, we're right around 11, so why don't we take our actual first break here before you head into the college proper. That's what I'm thinking. That's probably a good point. So, we're going to take our first break here. If you need to use the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack, anything like that, go ahead and do it, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So, see you in a little bit, folks, as then they're in the college. School's out. Not forever for them. They're coming into school, actually. So it's the opposite. School's in. Too bad! Ha ha! See you in a second, folks. 2, 1. We're going back. Hi, everybody. My brain is breaking. It's okay. We'll probably be fine. I won't get them killed. Rocks will probably not fall and kill everyone. Probably not.
Out of nowhere.
Hey, look.
So, I find the nearest construction site.
Rocks fall! Everyone dies! Sorry. It's instinct, you know? It's the GM instinct of just murder everyone with rocks, falling rocks, you know? It's deep in my soul. It's deep in my soul. Anyway, you're at college. You have directions to where the administration's building is. What's the plan?
Let's try and find the administration building.
Woo! Alright, following the man's directions, you are able to find your way to what would be referred to as administrations.
Following the high teens directions?
He's not high, he's just like, you know, not all that smart. Dude, yo.
Also, why is he a teen? He's at college.
He's not a teen. He's also just sounds like a teen, even though he's in his mid to late 20s. He just never grew up, dudes.
He also could be 19.
My dudes, I never grew up.
They call me Peter Pan. That's my nickname.
He prides himself in staying young.
Skeever. There we go. Skeever. That was the kid's name. Or guy's name. Technically, he might be physically older than one of you, but mentally, he is certainly not. And according to actual ages, he is certainly not. Anyway. Getting to the front of the administration building, there will be a guard in the door who will be like, "Do you have your IDs?"
I'm just gonna get out my driver's ID.
The administration building?
Yeah.
You're looking for information on public access?
So you're not students. Alright, here. You have to sign in here with all your relative information. Name, number to reach you, reason for being here, etc., etc. Then you can go in, and if you want to ask about any of that kind of stuff, I am not the woman to talk to. Also, it's a woman. A sassy gnome woman. Because you always have to have the sassy security guards.
I'm gonna pull out my phone.
I thought for a second about trying some kind of, like, trying to do it like a gnome voice, but sassy, and then I decided not to do it because I don't think it would work. I don't think I can physically, like, do that. That's just...
Oh, God.
See, it just becomes too silly, my high-pitched gnome voice, to be sassy.
Oh, it's a 10 out of 10.
I always
you know?
give it like a drawl instead of like a
Yeah.
turned up kind of sassy.
Maybe. Anyway. Security guard. Anyway, no woman. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Bad accents abound. They're all bad for me. That's besides the point. They're all awful. They all sound like nobody in reality. It's fine. Anyway.
Alright. That's how this game works.
Uh-huh.
No one's really in reality.
I know. Anyway. You broke down the seventh wall or something. I don't know. Reality folded in and on itself.
I killed the immersion.
You killed the immersion. You gonna sign in or not?
Yeah, I'll sign in.
I mean, we don't really have a choice, do we?
Thank you. Thank you. As some kids walk by showing, like, ID cards. And by kids, I mean they're, like, probably not actual kids, you know, like, college students. There we go, students. That's the proper word I should use to describe these people.
Technically, we're very, very old now, so really they're kids compared to us.
But physically they might not be. Because, again, physical age versus temporal age. You got to skip, like, a couple thousand years.
I look great for my age, is all I'm saying.
So it looks like the school symbol is like a golden flag with a music note and like a harp over top of it. And they kind of have this like symbol around the place. She'll be like, if you want to talk to someone about, I don't know, using the library, I guess, or something, just go up 3 floors, I guess. That should be good. Just check in with the people there.
Okay then. Possibly 3 floors we go.
Alright. You will head to, it will be records. It will actually say.
Ooh. Of evil?
No. Of college students.
God damn it.
Records of college students.
Always just scribble on of evil right under it, you know?
Records of evil.
In her very, probably not very good handwriting. Well, Mishka might have good handwriting. But I don't know if anyone else took the time to learn how to do so.
Well, yes.
Oversaw terrible handwriting.
Alright, going in, there will be a kind of small waiting room area, where you see a couple of students seeming to be waiting around. There's kind of a desk, with a woman behind it. She seems to be just, like, working on some paperwork right now.
Excuse me, but do you have genealogy
Give me a
records
second.
here?
Yes, you were saying?
Do you have genealogy
You have
records
your
here?
IDs.
I show the pass I was given.
Visitor's pass. Are you looking for a student's records?
I'm
What's the
wondering
student's
if you have
name?
historic records.
Our records do date back some time period, so if you're looking for a student's records from when they were here, I'm sure we could find it, given enough time. But
That should
maybe
work.
you're not in the right location. What is it you're looking for? This is student records. Yes.
Student records could be fine as long as they are historic records.
I mean, there's plenty of history here in the college, and our record system has been around since pretty early on. But if you're talking about like old records from the old times at the college, I don't know if I can help you here. Try down the hall.
I go down the hall.
Alright. You'll head down the hall, and there will be a administration of record keeping. An office that says that on there.
Okay.
This one, you just have to knock on the door, since it seems to be someone's actual office.
Very well, I knock on the door.
There's no response.
Hello.
I knock again.
Nope, no response.
Can I try opening the door?
It is locked.
Oh. Is there like a window thingy we can look through?
Nope.
Well, that's not very helpful.
I mean, I could try and pick it, but like, do we want to get in trouble here?
I mean, is there anyone
Do I
else in the hallway?
see any...
There's some other people, like,
Is there-
walking around doing their thing.
Excuse me, but do you know when the person in this office gets back?
Not sure. They might be out to, like, a meeting or, like, an early lunch, depending on their schedule.
You know when they'll get back?
I don't know their schedule.
Oh.
I mean, if you're looking just to wait around, you could probably ask if you can use the waiting room down there. I don't know if there's any other, like, places other than you're standing around here. Anyway, hope that helps. I gotta get to class.
Okay, bye.
I want to head back over to the front desk again.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, actual downstairs to the front desk, or to the desk where the
The desk where she told us where to go.
Yeah.
So no one's actually in that office.
Look, let me page someone, find out where they're at. If there's someone else that can help you.
That would be great, thank you.
Are you specifically looking into old records of students, or are you looking into what?
Old records of people in the town would work, but students actually could be also quite a good possibility.
Can I ask why you're looking into this?
We're doing some research on genealogy.
Okay. Look, I'll check around. I'll see if, Miss Givens is, gonna be back soon. She's the one I sent you to talk to. And other than that, I am not sure who you should talk to. Sorry. Probably want to check in with someone in the library division. I know most of them are usually over at the library, but they do have an office here upstairs on the 6th floor. So you might want to check in with them there also. Up to you if you want to wait.
Very well.
Maybe while we wait, we should go in and check student records.
I assume this is Tantus trying to tell us we're at the wrong place, but...
No, I've just done a dick with you because college.
Yeah, that's...
I have been to so many times to college where they're like, you should go here. No, go here. Then go here afterwards for all this stuff.
I guess I've been to a lot more organized colleges than you.
The college was organized. They just had you go to a lot of places.
Most colleges I go to go to the security office to get your guest pass, and then you can go and do your thing.
Nope.
And generally that second part happens pretty fast.
Oh, I'm sure that, like, they have, like, you can get to security office, here's a pass, do your thing. But, like, finding out who you need to go to, god awful. Thanks, Temple. There's been plenty of times where I was going to, like, places and they're like, no, now you have to go do this, then you have to go do that, you know? And then some of them are like, you know, oh god. It's all bureaucratic administration crap. And it hurts my soul, and you can enjoy it. There's college experience for you. At least mine. Anyway, so, horrible. Speaking of, like, experiences that are... That doesn't fit. Not necessarily annoying or horrible, but maybe annoying. There you go. English. Are you waiting around here, or are you gonna go check out the stuff upstairs first? What do you want to do?
Might as well go check out the upstairs while I wait.
Okay. Are you all going, or are you keeping someone here to talk to Miss Misgivings if she gets back?
I can wait.
Okay.
There's a chair, I'm sitting in it.
Yeah, there's a chair here. Hey, lady, you're pretty.
That's nice.
So you're a student here?
No.
Awesome. You're a graduate?
No.
Okay. You here for the frat parties?
The what?
The frat parties.
What is a frat?
Let me tell you. We got this one, where it's a bunch of guys like me who got together. You know, we totally beat up our bullies. Tell the administration about that. And tricked them. And now, we're having a big party. You should come. They'll be drinking and totally, attractive men and women.
I have to deal with enough drunk, attractive men and women at my work. Thank you very much.
Where do you work?
Not around here.
Aww.
She just, like, is turning to him to say just a blunt sentence and then immediately turning away again. Every time.
Alright. So as Thursday deals with, like, you know, nerd attempting to pick her up. Really squirrely, like, quintessential, worst example of a nerd, you know, yeah, he's got to have the pocket protector and, like, the tape on his glasses.
No, no.
Uh-huh. And, let's, you know, he's an elf, so he's extra tall and lanky.
Oh, no.
There you go. Anyway, the other two can head upstairs to library administrations. Okay. Yeah, there's an office up here, for, library administrations. It seems to be kind of like an actual office area, similar to the administrations down below. It probably has a more fancier title? Title than library administrations, but I can't think of it right now, so we'll go with library administrations. As my English continues to break down today. It does every day, but I mean, the longer I go, the more it breaks.
It's a Tuesday, you know. Let's break on Tuesday.
God, you know, Tuesday's a long day for me, and it breaks early on. What do you two want to do? You're upstairs.
Talk to people?
There's one lady in here. No one's actually in here in the little library area, little office area. There's a couple of seats. Again, it's kind of like a counter kind of area. You see that there's a number of offices kind of behind the counter area, and it's just someone that seems to be kind of sitting around. They're on a computer. They actually have headphones on and are seemingly doing something on the computer.
Very well. I will... excuse me, we're trying to find insert professor's name whose door was locked here.
Mm-hmm. They don't seem to notice you.
Mishka, like, taps on the desk a little bit to see if it'll help.
You're just like...
Yeah. Hello?
Hello? They seem very engrossed in whatever they're doing on the computer. Mumbling something under their breath, too.
I don't have anything. Small that I can leave around, huh?
Down! Ah! Get you, little bitch.
No, let me just play my game. Okay, so Mishka reaches over to just like wave her hand in front of the screen.
Oh, holy crap! Shit! No! Damn it! Noob Killer 5000, you got me again! What? It like takes off the headphones. What the hell do you want? What? Who are you and why are you here? No one ever shows up here.
We're looking for insert name again here.
That's not my department.
No, but she is not in her office.
Okay. Great. Not this department here.
We're also
Miss Misgivings was downstairs. Like, this is like...
No, okay, why were we sent up here again? Sorry,
Because this is technically, like, the actual offices of people from, like, that run the library. Most of the time the person said most of the time they spend it in the library, but you might be able to catch someone in one of their actual offices. The library, like, building slash complex itself, doesn't have any offices in there. So they're given an office over here.
Okay.
But no one stops by to go to the offices of the librarians, who probably don't use them very much, except for, like, you know, leaving some private things, or maybe having private meetings or stuff, you know, on an individual basis, occasionally. Hence why the secretary here was probably doing some kind of first-person shooter, and not paying attention. Yeah, hello. What can I help you with? As they're, like, doing something on the computer quite rapidly and then, like, turn completely away from it towards you.
Well, we're looking for records.
Okay. What kind of records are you looking into? Is it something that you could do at the library? We're looking for a specific person to help you out here.
Hopefully. We're looking for genealogy records or records of students from a while ago.
Okay.
Old historic records.
Well, if you're looking for student records, even ones that are more historic, you probably do want to check in with the records room downstairs. Granted, they're not going to have access to everything, but if it's a student that's old enough, they'll be able to actually direct you to the correct person that might be able to help you at that point in time, if the records are outside of the ones they normally keep, either in the paper form downstairs or on the computer. If you're looking for more, like, genealogy papers, I think there's a couple of people in our library that do research on that, but I'd have to look into who would be able to do it. You should just have... I mean, if you went to the library, you could have just asked someone, maybe?
We did. They directed us to someone's office who wasn't there.
Okay. You mean downstairs?
Yes.
Okay. You sure they weren't directing to someone related to, like, student records and stuff? Not library records.
That is who...
These are different things.
They were direct...
You know... I know you're looking into information, it sounds like. Do you have your IDs? Student IDs? Just want to check in.
I show the guest pass.
Okay, you're guests. This makes things a whole lot differently. You have to, like, open with this kind of stuff when having these conversations. Like, if you had your IDs, I could check in with your IDs, and I could make an appointment with someone for you to talk to them. Now, since you're guests, not only would I have to, like, take some basic information because you're guests to try to get you an appointment today, which is not always easy. Possible, but not always easy. But you don't have access to the library normally. It's students only. Most of the time. Granted, other people get permission way ahead of time. I'm taking it that you're here just walking in, showing your IDs, being like, hey, can we get in and check it out, right?
Yes.
Things don't work as easy as you want it there. Sorry. Jesus, this is the most work I've had to do in, like, a week. All right. Okay. Look.
Hold on, I've got to...
Let me send some emails out that can, like, try to contact some people in the library division. They're not in the offices right now. As you can see, people normally stop by here beginning of the day, end of the night, call it a day. If they have some business related to these, they have them. You know, there's the meeting room back there for meetings of the library division. And also, like, if they're going to have any kind of private meetings, they tend to use these rather than the areas within the library. Makes sense, right? Yeah, great. Okay, now, here's your big problem. Not getting the appointment. Getting the appointments, that's something I might be able to do. I know there are 2 people that tend to work more on the historic side with books. We have someone that works as a preservationist, and someone that works, their professorship is in history, but they don't actually teach a lot of classes. They work mostly in the library. So one of them might be able to help you on this front for what you're looking into. Professor Ray Cankill. He's the one that you probably want to talk to. Ray Cankill and Miss McGiving. Miss McGivings, spelled that way, are the 2 characters that you've heard names of. But Professor Ray Cankill will probably be the one you want to talk to. I can try to contact him and see about a meeting later on. Now what we have to do is we have to contact the correct people to get you into the library. Now, who are you going to talk to downstairs?
Who was it again?
Miss Misgivings.
Oh, yeah, okay. Miss Misgivings. Also, why do these people have such dreary names?
I mean, I walk at a college.
Can Kill and Misgivings.
Look,
Yeah.
Professor Ray goes by Professor Ray.
Yeah, okay.
Ray is his first name. He goes by Professor Ray. Everybody knows Professor Ray. Just because he's got Cankill as his last name, he just, you know, he sticks away from it a little bit. He knows it's not the, you know, you just want to, it's got Kill in it. He's probably got a lot of Kill-related jokes in his lifetime. Anyway. Alright, that's good. The fact is that when you're approaching all the records of the college, that includes both the ones that we have on site here, downstairs for students, and ones that are probably much more of historical things, you have to have access to the library and tend to have needed access to the library, and especially into the historical book section. That's going to be a little more difficult. Effectively speaking, even if you get access to the library, which should be easier, getting into some of those special sections, which we keep for actual research, are difficult. Most of the time, those areas are restricted to those that are on a master's course, who've already completed most of their normal coursework, or actual people on doctorates, or possibly actual people, learned people that come in. Public people like yourself that are looking more into genealogical records and hoping to pick up stuff, which I don't know if we have anything, personally. I don't know what kind of records we have that would date back to there. You know, in our old book section and stuff. So I can't help you by answering that. But if there is something there, getting access to it is not as easy. Normally they imply that you should have some kind of training or some kind of large knowledge basis. If you don't, doesn't mean I don't think you can do it. It just means we have to check in with the right person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to message Professor Ray and see if Professor Ray would be free this afternoon. I'm also going to take this information that you have here from your cards and see about inquiring for you for a day pass to the library, maybe, for you. Is it just the 2 of you?
There's a third one, but she's not as interested.
Okay. So, your friend, she can, I don't know, go check out the nice food truck scene. We have a great food truck scene here. Anyway, I'll get passes set up for you two for the library. What I'm going to do is it's going to be temporary pass. I'm going to have to work on that. Why don't you go downstairs, wait for your person that's down there, and let her know that you also not only want to do the records here, that you do want access to the library, and you're working with me. Just tell them it's Jim upstairs.
Very well.
Now, let me help you finish up this so I can get back to slaying Noob Killer 5000. The bastard will lose to me once and for all. Okay. You'll be sent back downstairs. Where Thursday's waiting.
Lizzie looks very fed up with college students.
Oh, there's more of you. Sweet.
Who's your new friend, Thursday?
Please
New
don't.
boyfriend.
I don't quite believe that's true.
I know.
Do you want?
My
Do
girlfriend?
you want me to smash his face against the wall for you?
His eyes is like widen. So, do you all want to show up to the frat party later on?
1 second. I also give him a glare, as this was meant to... Oh, wow.
Oh. Oh.
Hey! I finally failed fail.
He gives you like kissy faces a little bit. Whoa. I didn't know you were into all that kind of thing. I don't know if I'm man enough for all of you at once.
You are not.
Mishka kind of like scowls and like.
Man, this is a bad time for me to finally fail a charisma check.
It's like, Thursday, who is? Why is he here?
He won't leave. He won't leave, and I can't kill him. There's too many people here.
Can I turn him into a roach? Perhaps.
1 second.
She's asking this out loud, though, so that at least he can be a little worried, maybe.
I turned.
How would you be able to do that?
I turned to him. Leave. I cast command.
Okay. Okay. He walks off.
Never
Walks away.
entering college again.
No, we need to leave.
Way too many witnesses here, and Oh.
About like 5 minutes later, he comes back. Man.
No. Is there a way for me to turn him into anything?
Not until higher levels. He's like must learn powerful magic to turn him into small thing to crush beneath my feet.
I'm gonna try and pickpocket him on the way out.
Okay.
That'd be sleight of hand.
It would be sleight of hand.
No. Don't get it bad because okay.
Oh.
Because then he'll think that you're trying to get a feel.
Okay. You'll be able to pull out like a what would he be carrying on him?
Probably a student ID.
No, he's got that in hand because he's been waiting. Like he's got that like with like a pile of papers that it looks like he's gonna use to like get actual student records or something. He was here for a reason.
Yeah, just turned into harassment.
Yeah. He's leading his frat house into the future and women.
I don't know so much about the women part, but
Anyway, all right. Eventually, though, like one of you will be watching and will see a woman move into the room that has been closed off. And as you're kind of leaving, Therzy will like effectively distract the guy and which he'll assume would be coming on to him again. But you'll be able to make your getaway with let's see here, like $2, 2 lira in coins, 3 pens, and a set of keys.
Good luck getting to your car now, bitch.
What are you gonna do with the keys?
They're just ours.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna possibly
I thought they were just gonna throw them into a trash can or something.
Yeah, pass in a trash can, just throw them on in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, you got 2 lira and some pens. Otherwise,
Lunch money, and he can't write notes. You know.
All right. So yeah, a woman had gone into Miss Misgiving's office, assumingly Miss Misgiving.
Knock on door.
Yes. Give me a moment. Open the door. Hello. Yes. What can I do for you?
We are guests, showing the guest pass, looking into genealogy records.
All right.
And records of potentially past students.
Give me a second here. Let me just put some stuff down, and I do have a moment to talk after that. Come in. Just I got 2 chairs over there. One of you will have to stand. She's seeming like unpacking a small bag that she brought with her, putting some stuff down. So, who are you looking into? Who's it related to out of you all? You're an interesting group.
Points to Mishka.
Okay.
I'm continuing with that, like.
What did we say she was for me? What?
Just related to you?
Related to
Oh.
Yeah.
Distant relative, it doesn't entirely matter.
Records for my relative.
And you think that they would have been here at the college? About how long ago?
I give kind of around the cutoff date that we found out about.
Those are quite old records.
Or like when we lost track of... Yes.
Unfortunately, for student records, we do have some records that date back towards that time period. That was one of the things that was great about our system back then, is the names of all the only unfortunate thing is not all bards back when New Olam was a bard college only, kept their names in our records. Only those that finished up and became master bards, effectively finishing up their studies here, were kept on the record most of the time. A few names because of various incidents appear in those old records, but yeah. I mean, if you have a direct name, that would help a lot.
I give the name of the last person we knew about.
One of Dia's kids, probably, were still in town. I believe.
I thought we... Was
no.
it just Dia's? I thought we were a little bit farther down than that.
I think you found a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like 2 or 3 generations.
Honestly speaking, I'm blanking out right now, and I don't think my own records were good enough to be like, here's all the names I gave you. I have a couple of names I gave you.
You didn't give us any names. You just said,
didn't.
"Oh, her kids had kids, and
That's
they
right.
were,
There was
and they had, and then their kids."
I was very
oh,
nondescript for this.
There was a Mia.
There
Yeah,
was
there's
Mia.
a kid.
And
oh yeah, there was something like that.
Mia was the daughter, and I can't
Yeah.
remember the son's name off the top of my head. Let me check my papers, which have been falling about.
Yeah.
That's vampires. That's a Wednesday game paper. That is that is a possible Saturday epic game one. That's the right one. Oh yeah. Tim and Mia. Who's Tim?
Tim and Mia.
Yeah. Huh. Well, there you go. There we go. Okay, I found I found the proper paperwork quickly and efficiently. Much more than I had. And I actually had good enough, notes to help myself. I think we said Mia's family and Dia's family ended up back in Baldur's Gate at one point in time. But not the complete family. Tim and his line stayed here in the town. Mia and her line moved back to
Waterdeep.
Baldur's Gate from Waterdeep.
Or Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
But their records got lost.
Their records got lost. So you're looking into Tim Stone, and his line. Well, the problem is that, unfortunately, if we don't have a lot of names, it seems like you have found, I'm guessing, a name traced back by somewhere, and you're looking into branches of your family right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a fine thing. Most of the time, most people look directly back. But, looking into small branches, especially, too, if you're interested in it, what ended up happening to it, does make for interesting records. That age, again, looking into an exact name, that might be one that you're looking for a student. If this Tim wasn't. Unfortunately, our computer system usually doesn't have a lot of those old records there. Not directly. What I can do is I can search the name Tim Stawn and see if it was related to the Bard College directly, or the name Stawn. Are you sure that's the actual last name of the person, though?
Yes, that we are sure of. And our questions more have to do with a family name we've heard of, or a family, or one of her family's names, and we have the old name, and we're trying to trace back and figure out where.
Okay. Yeah.
I give some kind of name. My brain's not working well enough to explain a.
Yeah, I figure you found some records from someone from long ago, and you're trying to trace their line to see,
where they connect or something.
Yeah, where they connect. You're not sure where they connect. According to your records, they are an ancestor of Mishka's, is basically what you're saying. But you're not sure where they connect up. And you're trying to, connect the lines, and that means you have to trace many lines down to see what connects together, unfortunately, with your records. That seems to be a challenge, especially when you find something older that skips generations, that links to something of your family. That can be a difficulty. Normally, I don't think I've ever heard of that directly. But then again, I don't study genealogy. One of our professors knows a little bit about it. I believe he's in the library department. But, so yeah, we can look into names, but I don't know if we'd find what you need, is the only unfortunate thing, because we don't have a lot of information. If you're looking for some old records from the city, we don't have a lot here in our library. We have a few that might be able to help you. Again, the old college did have some records, and if we look into it properly, we might be able to find something. And a little bit of a history. What I would recommend for you is you probably want to go to, like, city records at least. Might have, like, if there was a marriage or a death, they usually report many of those. Usually, even in the olden days, names were kept track of pretty decently. So you might be able to find something if you look into that. If you can get some names and come back to us, that might be your best bet rather than checking it out today. Though again, if you want to look into our records here, it doesn't mean you might not be able to find something. Just, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to get extra information if you're for the seemingly difficult path that you're on here.
Very well. We could come back tomorrow and look into city records first.
Yeah. I know there's a couple of old places in the city that probably have information too. I don't know if any of them would have better information.
Perhaps we could make an appointment for tomorrow just to speed this along.
Yeah, give me your information. What we can do is, why don't we plan for, in case you have to look into more, in case your journey takes you to more places. Here is, she's gonna like write on a post-it note. Here is the office number here. You can at the very least leave a message. We can plan for you. Give me a call, leave a message tomorrow morning when you know more about where you might have to stop and things like that, and where you have to go to. Again, like, there are plenty of places, old places in the city that you might be able to find records. I'd recommend City Hall first. Check in with them, see if they have access to anything. Marriage and death records should be in there to a good degree. They might not be perfect if things do fall through the cracks here and there, and I hope they don't for you. It might take a while to go through because you've got years worth of searching too. But if you can come up with some names, I don't think proper censuses started until about 1,500 years ago is the only problem. Citywide censuses.
Well, perhaps we could find something still.
I mean, I don't know if you could get a meeting with him, but there is someone that's been around since those times and might be able to help you out with you. I'm sure you're aware of Lord Aaron's son.
Maybe.
You can roll a history check.
Sure.
Okay. Therzy will certainly know the name. So will Mishka. Grisel has no idea.
I've never been to Waterdeep.
Aronson is the last name of Blackstaff, one of the most powerful members of the Lords of Waterdeep. It could be someone from his family. He was supposedly dead back in your day, but then again, you know, there were a lot of weird rumors about him anyway. It might be difficult to get a meeting with him, but if you could arrange that through City Hall, he would know some things about the old days.
That would be very helpful.
Well, I hope that helps you. Yeah.
Thank you. And I assume we make an appointment for tomorrow with her?
Yeah, she'll set up that you give her a call tomorrow when you know more about your own schedule, and she can arrange for you to stop by, and you can figure out things from the records there. As you say, if you wanted to, you could still go to the library, and effectively what I'm going to say to you, if you want to look through the library records right now, since you don't have a lot of information, you can roll with disadvantage, if you want to use the library right here now. just to keep things relatively simple and, like, cut and dry. Doesn't mean you won't find anything. It means it'll be difficult to find something.
Sure.
Got it.
You should probably let library dude know that, you know, maybe you're coming back tomorrow instead of today.
Yes, we will do
Yeah.
that.
In case you're forgetting library dude.
Very angry at us for interrupting him again.
Yeah, okay. Tomorrow, that's fine. I'll let the people know that, so, great. Figuring stuff out. I can let them know that just, like, you had a meeting with, Miss Misgiven, and that she said, you know, sent you on a more proper path, and that, you know, if it takes you back to the college, you'll check in with her first, and then check in with me. I'll keep them informed. They would have been willing to chat with you. We probably could have gotten you into at least part of the library. Old records, you might have been able to get someone's help with it. So, okay.
We leave the library of Can Kill and Misgivings, and,
Head to City Hall?
Yep.
Okay.
After probably a period of time where Thursday tries to get her money back.
She's not.
like
No refunds? You've been here for a couple hours?
This is a scam. This is fine. And I chuck the keys in the bin. I'm just clicking the pen I stole.
So, City Hall. Because technically Waterdeep itself was once a city-state. The form of the government now has evolved since the old days. There's still the Council of Lords, but now
Actually, this may be a good time for a break.
I was going to do it after I described a little bit
Oh, that's fair.
the way things work. There's still a Council of Lords, so the Lords of Waterdeep still do technically exist in a form. But sort of, it's kind of like, you know, I'll say like Parliament in Britain. There's a House of Commons, House of Lords. So you've got like the Lords of Waterdeep, and then you have like a commonly elected group too. Because again, Waterdeep is mostly a city-state with some surrounding territory and small villages now, or small cities associated with it now, and part of like a combined kind of country that was built out of them. They're still very individual though. It's sort of like early states in the US. They never got over that. Anyway. Or maybe European Union a little bit. Except with cities that are countries. So, we'll take our second break here.
City-states are kind of territories. They're almost like counties that are countries.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of these county countries along the Faerun coast, and they basically united into one pseudo-government at this time period. But, you know, Waterdeep here, they got politics. And you'll have to worry about them, and seeing about you getting some state records after a break! So, if you need a snack, drink, etc., go ahead and do it. Bathroom breaks, you know, and we'll be back in a little bit to continue the last part of today's adventure in Waterdeep. See you in a second, folks. We're still alive. I'm still alive. And we're back. Okay. So you will arrive at City Hall. I wasn't going to say anything.
I know.
I was just going to let it do its thing. So, City Hall is still in the center of the castle ward. There are a number of like important buildings around here and there. There is, of course, I think this is totally where Mount Waterdeep is. So there's like a big mountain in the center of town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Casual mountain.
Yeah. It's a casual mountain.
Map open of Waterdeep, but then I closed it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's also like trying to figure out where everything actually is on the map, because my map doesn't tell you like small locations, and there's a billion small locations in Waterdeep. Because
see, the problem with my map is it tells you small locations, but it tells you like all of them and gives you no reference for where they are. So
Good old maps.
Yep. So, yeah. You have the main civics buildings into this kind of small government center area, too. Some of it's built onto the mountain itself, while some of it's at the, kind of the base of the mountain. The center here, the bureaucratic kind of like city hall building, is at the base of the mountain. And there is some stuff built into the mountain complex itself. So the mountain itself is not necessarily completely off limits to build into, as it probably was long ago. And Castle Waterdeep and the palace are both built into the sides of it. Castle Waterdeep still having historical references to them. So, there's such great things here as a number of embassies to other countries still here. The Thayan embassy is still here. Though unsure how much portal travel still is in use. What's your plan at the government building? You're like on the steps of a big government building. Probably like you can see one of the giant statues like up on the mountainside. It looks to be a giant griffin statue above.
walk up to the secretary and ask them where we can go for records. Ancient records.
If you want access to the records room, we're gonna have to see about if you have, get you some permission to do it. You, got any credentials?
Shows driver ID.
Same.
That's...
Yeah.
not actually credentials, but okay.
What kind of credentials do you want, then?
Like... degrees. Information that shows that you're, like, a genealogist.
Do we have to be genealogists?
Not necessarily, but, there's a difference between the public records and the records which are kept for the public.
Let's see.
If you want access to public records, we could arrange for that very easily. If you want access to something to all the records, you need to be an actual genealogist. Though
Very well, I guess we'll have to take the public record access for now.
Alright.
Although I have a feeling before long we're going to have to get a degree in genealogy to figure all this out.
Alright, we're gonna pause the game for like 4 years. 2 years genealogical, like associate's degree or something, certificate.
Does it help if I say that I'm related to the person we're looking for?
Not particular. You were also told to look into getting maybe a meeting with someone might help too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there perhaps a genealogist we could meet with to get access to better records?
On site here? No, we don't have a genealogist on staff, unfortunately.
Do you have a number of someone who you may know?
Personally, no. Try looking online.
Let's go with the public records for now.
Alright, the person will give you directions to the public records.
Okay.
Alright, I require, let's see here, with these kind of records here, a lot of these records are kind of like your general public records of things like building schematics, things like that are kept on public. Probably all the censuses are in here. They probably do not have marriage or birth certificates on record in this area here, at least the ones that they would have in the city on hand. There's probably some other records that would be kept that are probably not, like business records would not be in here. Anything, major transactions or things like that, that the City Hall would have been involved in. But from these records here, you could take a look and see what you could find. Investigation check, I will say, each of you give me one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh!
Nice.
Hey.
Okay. So, Therzy, you're like going through and like you are looking through an area and it's just lots of like blueprints. Just keep finding blueprints. Just lots of blueprints, and this is just not helpful.
It'd be great if I was looking to steal shit, but I don't know where these buildings are.
It's like you don't know which of these buildings are. You're not even sure which of these buildings are still built and haven't been replaced. Like, some of them are like, this is an older one, and this looks like it's newer, so this probably still exists, but I don't know for sure if either still exists, because I don't know which ones have been... Yeah, you know, it just ends up with it.
Yeah.
Michigan and Vercel, the two of you kind of dive deep into the records, though. Yeah, it looks as though you definitely can tell that the records date back strongest to around 1,500 years ago here. In this section here. As I said, like, you can check out the censuses starting in that, which seems that like every 10 years there was a census after 1500. It seems like there was one started by a member of the council that decided it was a great idea and managed to convince everybody else. Member of the lords, and since then they've been doing it. Unfortunately, that does leave at over a 500-year gap for your records. As I said, there's no like marriage certificate or birth certificates here. The thing is...
Okay, so I'm also going to search, by the way, just for anyone with the name Ston as well.
Okay.
Even if they're newer records.
Looking through the census records, you can see that there are, as of the first census, if you use that as a reference point for hopefully coming up with it, there seems to be 5 families with the last name Stone. It's not a common last name, but it's also unknown if Dia didn't have relatives. So,
I understand this, but it's worth just having more avenues to look into. Maybe we can connect some dots from different directions.
Yes, but you do have 5 families, effectively, that were part of the census that gave information about them. You could, with using the censuses, given enough time, you could trace many of these, at least until they disappear within the city. Or, like, move around pretty decently. And they're a very good point in time. With more records, like, probably, if you would combine this information with something like the birth and death records and marriage records within the older records that you don't currently have access to, you probably think you could make very good headway.
I'm just gonna say at this point, I have, like, a notebook that just has, like, scrawlings of everything I find out, of every stun, up and down as best as I can.
Yeah. We could say you definitely can put together a pretty comprehensive idea of at least these general Ston families at this point in time. They're not the easiest to trace, and spending a few hours here you can put together small genealogy charts for the different groups. So effectively, if you can see which one or ones connect to Dia, or to Tim in this case, since he remained in the city, you have an idea of where to go for which ones. Of the family lines, you are able to trace one here in Waterdeep that still remains, if you take like most of the afternoon looking through them.
Okay.
You're not sure what happened to some of them. Like, you have gaps in the other 4. Like, many of them married out. Like, here, like, there's... You try to trace all these different lines, like, breaking apart, and, like, where they went kind of thing. It is a web. But, like, most of the lines ended up in places that, you know... It seems like a lot of lines broke here, which was a good thing for you. There was a lot of, like, people that died in various plagues or wars or incidents. A number that just never had any kids.
It's basically I have 2 paths. Diaston passing down as far as I can go, and then basically every Ston I could find in, like, recent history going up. And
Yeah.
basically, those are the 2 things I'm trying to connect those 2.
Yeah. So, with the Ston name, you found one which might be modern day. The problem is, you don't have a way of just checking whether they're the correct person or not very easily.
Too bad we didn't have a vial of Diaston's blood to compare DNA to.
Yeah, you didn't know about DNA. Mm-hmm.
We didn't know we'd be going to the future either.
No, you didn't. Haha! I said something weird was going to happen. I did tell you guys that, at least. You just didn't know.
I'll be honest, had I known that, I would have built a slightly different character. But anyway.
Uh-huh. Well, again, like, just because you know something weird's going to happen, that's going to alter everything. I think all of you were probably more like, oh, maybe we'll travel to another plane or something. And I'm like, nope, time travel.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking plane.
Yeah.
I was thinking I was gonna become a pirate.
I had no reference as to what it could possibly be. So...
So, yeah. But it looks like the unfortunate thing is right now, if you wanted to get more, there is some gaps that you need the non-public records for. You're thinking. But if you would be able to get to the non-public records, you would have effectively advantage in looking into that. You and Mishka know enough between the two of you. Actually, well, if you share with Thursday can do it too. So if you get into the other records, you can try to connect the gaps and see about what's going on.
But we have to find... Okay, so I guess after that, the rest of the day is looking into genealogists.
Alright,
For hire.
let's see here. You can find plenty of, like, genealogists, like, online for, like, genealogy things. But individual genealogists that might be hireable is like, unless you're going directly through a company, doesn't seem to be like a thing that you're finding a lot of. And most of those companies are very like, you know, they do their things their way and have their own time periods, it seems like, if you're looking into those. Which, if you're in the town, looking into people that are genealogists. There does seem to be one at the college.
Father!
Professor Ray is a trained genealogist and historian. He's got... You will find out that he has actually 3 degrees. And genealogy is one of them.
Well, I guess we're doing a meeting tomorrow.
Uh-huh. Professor Ray is the guy you can maybe use to get into the records. Do you want to do anything else today, or try any of the other places that might have records?
ask the people here if, how to set up a meeting with Mr. Princeman.
The Lord?
Yeah.
Aronson? Okay. Lord Aronson's pretty busy, but, if you, leave a contact information, I can, send a message. Is there a reason behind the meeting?
It's with what we're doing.
Oh, you're the people that were checking out the records, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. Yeah, let me message his people and see if he'll get back to you. Yeah, just leave a number with us and we'll see what we can do.
That would be great, thank you.
Okay.
Leave my number.
Yeah. You can head back to the hotel as things get late. Unless you do have a couple hours, probably, so you could either, like, go into town, maybe check some stuff out just for fun. There were some other places in town you knew that there could be records. You've hit up, like, the two most important places. But as I said, the Font of Knowledge, the Hall of Justice would probably still have some, and the Tower of the Order.
I think that's up to you two, because I'm really bad at finding shit.
Okay, what was that one more time?
So there's
As
three
we're
other
playing the chat.
Yeah, there was three other places that possibly could have information. Font of Knowledge. It was an ancient library that was once a temple. It still has a pretty extensive library. There's probably a public side to that library. Probably an area where you can arrange to check out more expensive books or something. You know, they'll have like a system where like, oh hey, I want to check this out, and they can arrange for checking out like rare or older books. But again, that's more like a general library. The Hall of Justice has pretty good like court records, effectively. They kept a lot of records on the going-ons of the law and order in town for quite a while. If one of your people got involved with the law, that might be something. And the last thing is the Tower of the Order. That is the Wizard's Order that still is around. They might have something too. All of these are probably less of a chance to have things in the two places you've already been to. So you don't need to visit any of them if you don't want. We can move on to the evening if you choose to, and maybe if you need to, you could always stay longer in town and check those out.
I feel like we're gonna need to stay longer, and we're gonna need to hire Ray Can Kill.
Mm-hmm.
What race was Ray Can Kill?
You have no idea.
What did he look like?
You didn't meet him.
Was he not the one who was at the computer?
No, that was just like a secretary guy.
Oh,
I
I misunderstood that situation.
He was just playing first-person shooters and complaining about Noob Killer 5000. Because fuck that guy. He's a dick. So yeah. Mm-hmm. He was a guy that basically can spend most of his days just sitting in an office and occasionally doing work because his job is very easy and no one shows up there. That's his life. I mean, he's got a midday of like a lot of... But anyway. So, if you don't want to check out anything else today, you can probably get some dinner, head back to the hotel. Or hotel, I'm sorry. Is that what you guys want to do for now? As we can skip into the next day?
Yeah.
Okay. When you get back in the evening, you're going to get a call.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. I heard this is number for a Miss Therzy.
That's me.
Yes, I'm working with Mr. Aronson, Lord Aronson, and was seeing if you still wanted to have a meeting. Lord Aronson would have some time tomorrow morning. You will need to arrive at the Blackstaff Estate and Tower. about 8 a.m. sharp.
That would be excellent. Thank you very much.
Excellent. I'll expect your arrival tomorrow morning. Click, click.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Alright.
we're gonna go meet a really old lord, guys.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Morning will come. I'm assuming that's where you're going to head first.
I expect so. And also probably text the university.
You message the university that you'll be showing up later on.
Yeah.
This one, I assume we all have our own phones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would probably do that. Well, I'd probably take care of that one.
Yeah.
So, on Sword Street, it's still Sword Street. It's, definitely been built up to be an actual road now. Off to the one side in one of the areas here in the castle ward, you'll head back to the castle ward, is a massive-looking tower that seems to be built into the center of a large building complex. It is, of course, Blackstaff Manor and Tower. The tower itself seems to have like a older section and something else built kind of on top. It's kind of like a cylindrical tower that goes up in the center of it. And even today, where it looks like it's definitely a classical building that's very old, it matches some of the tall buildings in the area too here. Because like this place definitely doesn't have any skyscrapers that match like down or midtown Calimport. That had hell of a skyscrapers. It still has some pretty tall buildings here. Like, smaller skyscrapers. So maybe like, I don't know, 10, 15 stories. Not those like 30-story ones you got back home. Those were a thing. Anyway. Kind of like, it looks as though like the entire area is kind of cordoned off by kind of a large set of gates. The main gates are open with a couple of, it looks like guards outside it that are kind of just watching the main gates. Kind of very like, they're just like guys in guard uniforms, weapons, kind of standing to either side of the gate. As some people are passing in and out, they're kind of keeping an eye on them all. Being led inside, there will be a lot of people just seemingly working around, and not many people are paying attention to you, folks. They seem to be going about their business for the day. What's your plan? There's you leading us here, because you're the one that made the appointment.
Oh, I assume so.
Thursday will try.
Okay. A lot of people darting back and forth, seemingly working.
Head towards anything that looks like a desk with an official sat at it.
Nope. This looks more like someone's place of residence, but there does seem to be a level of like business going about it, as if like part of this entire thing is being converted from just normally an actual residence or like an actual manor house to a place that has some level of government to it. So you can see there's certainly some people that look more like probably dressed in like servants' uniforms. Other people that are just in like suits and stuff that seem to be working on various things.
How does Thursday always get us into these weird power situations?
Yeah.
Like, it was the mafia boss guy, then the succubus, or whatever.
She has a
And
thing
we're
for
here.
power. For money, but kind of for power too.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and stop someone that looks
Oh.
like they work there.
Oh,
rather
yes.
than-
Yeah. What can I do for you? Hello.
I was supposed to have meeting here was arranged by insert name of woman. I assume she gave name over the
Yes.
phone.
Oh, yeah. Jen, the people you made an appointment with are here. Oh, hi. Are you one of you Miss Therzy?
That's me, yeah.
Excellent. Come with me. Lord Aaron soon should be getting ready. You okay to walk and talk?
Oh, of course.
Sure.
Question, are we all allowed to go, or is it just 13?
No, you can all come along. You'll be led kind of towards, like, up some stairs, back into where you can see that, the rooms kind of, like, have a circular back to them, because it looks as though this is the area that kind of enters into the tower, as if this building and the tower were integrated together. You'll actually be led into one of the floors of the tower itself, and then actually coming down the stairs is a man dressed in a jet black suit. He has he's a tall man, a little over 6 feet tall. He's got a full beard, black hair with silver streaks, and a silver streak going down his beard. Floating behind him is this, that seems to be accompanying him, is this black staff that seems to just hover behind him and come with him as he's talking with a number of people. Like, he signs something, he's like... Oh, these are the people you were going to have a meeting with? Excellent. Come, walk and talk. Who are you folks? Miss, Thursey?
That's me. This is Vassell and Mishka.
Excellent. What the hell do you want to talk to me about?
We were told that you might have some information from way back. And
I
we're
should.
looking for someone.
Definitely should.
Their
I'm
family.
probably the oldest person in this entire town.
Would it be rude if I asked how old?
Lost track.
That kind of old.
Yep.
Yep, that's fair.
I think I may have hit 3,000 at one point in time. Anyway, look. Enough about my age. Why is it you're trying to inquire about the old times? Not many people talk about it. Not since my 3rd reincarnation.
Oh,
No, 4th.
4 of them. Wow. Okay.
Look, when you get to be my age and you die... 5 times now? Is it 5? 5 times.
That's pretty impressive, but I imagine that sucks.
Hey, I liked it better when everybody gets called the Blackstaff. Anyway, business down now. I've got a city to help run.
We're looking for Dia Stone or her son, Tom. They're from, yeah.
Oh boy. Old names from the old places.
Yeah.
Look, I might have some records of my own that I can go through later on. I can take a look for me, see if I know any of these people or something like that. Let you know. Seem like nice kids. Probably? I don't know. Look, as long as you're just, like, asking around for some people, looking in for some past information, I can probably help you out. You can check in with one of my secretaries about some information. I can try to, like, look in some records for you, take a look. What's this for, anyway?
Family history.
Hmm.
We're
Right.
trying to track some relatives down. It's a whole mess.
Please give me deception check.
Technically, not a lie.
This is true. Technically, not a lie. It might help you.
Okay. Reasonable.
But you're also talking to someone who has seen a lot of things.
Yeah, I didn't say it was Mishka's family or our family. I just said family.
True.
Look, I don't know what you're up to. I probably don't want to know right now. Got businesses to run right now. And the city, as long as you're not doing anything to mess with the city, it's fine. We look into some old information. Great. That is usually harmless. Keep it that way. You understand me?
Duly noted.
Waterdeep has enough problems as it is. Anyway. I'll see if I can find any information out. But maybe you can help me next time by talking a little bit more about who the hell are you and why you're actually looking into this. And we'll see if we do those things, if we can share information.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. He'll leave, his black staff floating after him, and along with like an entourage of people. You said your name was Therzo, right? It's like another secretary. Oh, great, Therzi. All right. And we have your number down on record, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Lord Aronsoon will contact you as soon as he feels like it.
Thank you for your time.
Excellent. Hopefully the information will be of help of you. Have a nice day.
You too.
I'll be honest, the suspicious eye of a Lord of Waterdeep is an interesting thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
There's an advantage that you have. The person you talk to would ultimately be described as a master of law and order. Not necessarily good. That's the advantage you have.
Lords of Waterdeep aren't necessarily clean-nosed, if you get what I mean.
It's just, its actual Blackstaff was there. Again, he died like a couple more times and kept coming back. One of those things about Chosen of Mystra. It kind of keeps bringing you back. Even though Mistress disappeared, he's still got a chunk of that power. You could actually probably ask him about stuff from the history of Faerun. He's seen it all. He was alive during your time period. He's older than you.
Oh, God. That is impressive.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's actual Blackstaff. He's still around.
He could potentially know about the cult.
Yeah, I know. They're actually... But at the same time, I doubt that would be in his best interest to help us if we tell him about that.
Yeah, like, devils are lawful, which is something that means, like, if you say you're just, like... You could probably reveal some things, and be okay. Because, like, again, he probably ultimately sides with the greater good, but, he's often questionable in his, like, good side of things.
He could be tired of being good after so many...
I mean, Mistra's lawful neutral, right?
And he is very lawful neutral. He's all about the law and order of the city and maintaining it. And, and whether or not there are any other public lords, he has technically been the open lord for probably the last 1,000 years. Alive and dead. At some point,
I guess if you're if you're around that long, people kind of get especially like nowadays, people tend to get comfortable with the complacency of like the same person.
Yeah, he's like the head mayor dude, but like he's technically not like he only has a chunk of power. He doesn't have the full power. So he's your semi-immortal figurehead. Only semi, because he can technically die and has done a bunch of times. And usually that's like a century of being dead and he shows up again. The usual.
Oh, sweet. So we could kill him, and then he wouldn't come back until long after.
Also, like... Let me put it this way. Back in your age, he was like 24th level.
Okay, no, we ain't touching him. We should stay the fuck away. This was a terrible idea. What have I done?
He probably would be like 30.
Remembers everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he probably has power word kill, let's be honest.
Yeah, he's probably, like, effectively, like, 30th level at least by now, or challenge 30.
God.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm saying that because he's not gone on any great adventures and leveling up a huge amount past that. There's a certain point in time that if you're just ruling over stuff, you don't really gain levels a lot. A couple of civil wars, you know, a couple of massive battles, giant monster attacks, things like that. Throw you a couple extra levels over those 2,000 years. Not a huge amount.
You know, Tiamat trying to come back a couple times.
You know, and then he's got to, like, bitch slap her, like... He did...
Well, to be fair...
I did like the idea because he could kind of control those giant stone statues that are part of the city. That he, like, if Tiamat came back, he, like, merged with one temporarily and did, like, you know, like, a beat down on Tiamat. That's a thing now. Ultimately caused him his third death, but we'll say it was an awesome thing that he did. Worth it! He basically Pacific Rimmed giant monster battle with robot Tiamat. That is now canon in this universe. It is the most epic thing that no one has been alive to remember. Anyway, that's probably a good point to leave it. Meeting Blackstaff. 'Cause still around. Yep.
I'm surprised he even made time for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, can you walk and talk? Was the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair, but still.
Way too intimidated.
Yeah. Also, we have that plot armor. Of course, we gotta get it.
Look,
Exactly.
just by reasonable chance of plot armor, he had an opening. Plot armor opening. There was totally that opening in his schedule that he could totally meet with you. That, like,
Exactly.
like, you know, like a normal D&D game, you could see that. There was probably not as much, like, crazy business. Modern D&D, you got, like, tons of stuff going on the side. So you can definitely get into that, like, you know, yeah, how's he got time?
Oh yeah, no, if he's CR30 now, then he's on par with an avatar of Tiamat.
Yeah, see? Totally. And when you possess a gargantuan statue and, like, combine it with your wizarding powers, you know, it helps to make you, like, an ultimate fighter. And then you can just MMA wrestle a giant dragon monster. I don't know. I just imagine this now, and it'd be ridiculous, and I love it as an idea.
If I was better at animation, I would totally make an animation of this.
Yeah.
Just what is, like, judo flip Tiamat.
Yep. Yeah, one of the Archdevils only CR26. Blackstaff could take him down. Granted, like, some of the higher Archdevils, no. Like, Mephistopheles. He's, beep me. Anyway, let's end it here. It's a little early, but, you know, I don't want to dive into going to the, back to the college and the library to get, your nice friend, Ray, Professor Ray, to help you out. Good old Professor Ray. For now, we're going to leave it. We should hopefully be back, next week. Definitely. Hopefully. Why don't we have people give shout-outs to who they are, where to find you, and all that stuff. We'll start with, Jess. We'll do reverse of how I did it today for orders.
Bubblegum Viking, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Be back in an hour.
This is true.
Yeah.
You will be back in an hour. Jinx.
I am Jinx. I am Jinx Jams on Twitch and Twitter. I don't know where my brain went. Jinx Jams on Twitch and Twitter. I might be streaming tomorrow, or maybe tonight. I might be trying out Valorant. So that might be fun.
Alright, and Worm.
Hi, I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or @DiamondWorm on Twitter. I'll probably end up streaming on Friday, hopefully this time around things actually happen. But either way, I'll
do
also be back in
something.
an hour.
I think this week we'll just do something, even if like we have to like cancel the normal stuff again. We'll just figure out an alternate for those of us that are around.
I agree.
Yeah. So yes, for myself, Dracovin, yes, in a little bit more than an hour, Legacies of Kain, the Vampire the Masquerade game, will be back on this channel, so a little break. So if you need to get like a big old meal, take a small nap, or anything like that, I'd recommend it, and then come back here for that. If you're looking for other RPG stuff, of course, you can be back next week, 10 a.m., same time, same place. That's all Eastern Standard Time for more Records of Evil. Other games are, of course, on Thursdays at 8 p.m. for Children of Wrath, the D&D meets Magic the Gathering game, set in the Magic the Gathering game, D&D set in the Magic Gathering world of Dominaria, and of course Grinding Gears, run by my good friend Joe on this channel, who is on Discussing Tabletop and Children of Wrath with me. He runs it at 7 p.m. on Saturdays, Grinding Gears. He's doing pretty good for someone with not a huge amount of DMM experience. So, you know, if you want to see an interesting story set in the Dark Matter universe, that one's on Sundays. So, yeah. And then I'll probably stream some other stuff, like with Worm on Fridays and stuff like that. And, you know, have some other games that won't be on stream, but you can probably hear about on Discussing Tabletop, where I tell you my week in tabletop, if you want to hear stories from those and more. So, that's Saturdays at 2. Yeah.
Seems like Tiamat is actually the strongest of, like, the demigods or whatever, like, or avatars.
I mean, it is a goddamn giant 5-headed dragon.
Y'all.
You really can't...
All the other ones are, like, you know, 26, 23,
yeah, just,
21.
All the other ones are just godly dudes. This is godly dragon. What about Bahamut?
Oh, I didn't look at Bahamut. I don't know if he's in Mordecai and Stone Close, though.
Oh, okay, but anyway... Until next time, and until later on if you're here, have a safe day, wonderful day. Keep sane, keep safe, keep healthy. Hopefully you'll join us later. If not, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and a great rest of your week. And for now, farewell, everybody. As I sing us out, just a little bit there.